All right, we are back. Last week we didn't really have an official show. We broke it down on the Patreon show, but probably for the best because it wasn't the greatest card for either one of us. So hopefully we can rebound this week. But what are your thoughts coming into this one? I had to grind through this card, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, this is a pretty. I mean, it's before you have the big one, UFC 300. So obviously, all these fights are going to be watered down.
Yeah.
Not the greatest card, but I don't know. Try to find some bets.
It's money to be made, though. So hopefully we can figure it out here. So we'll just jump right into it. Let me get this ready to roll here. Our first fight of the night is women's bantamweight bout. We have actually, hold on. It's been a little bit since I pulled this up. So let's preset. All right, I'm struggling here. There we go. We've got Melissa Mullins taking on Nora Cornell. Pretty lopsided on the odds. I thought that was a little strange. What are your thoughts here?
I got nothing here. This is one I didn't even really look into. I don't have any interest in betting this fight. I guess Dixon can probably. Cornhole didn't look good in her last fight, but she sneaked out of. She probably robbed one of the robberies of the year against Jocelyn Edwards, right?
Yeah, I was on Edwards in that fight, and I thought she did enough to win. Going back, watching it back, I can see why she won. It's not as big of a robbery as I thought originally. But I'm not really high on Mullins or Dixon. However it is on the apps, I don't know. But I don't know, man. I think this is a dog or pass spot. Cornell, her striking's very good. Dixon took a lot of damage in her debut fight. She is going to be the one looking to grapple. Cornell was taken down, she was taken down a few times in her debut fight. So obviously that would be the path. But Cornell does have good get-ups, and when she's on the feet, she does do a lot of damage. Dixon took a lot of damage in her debut fight. So, I mean, you're almost getting 2-1 on Cornell. To me, it's dog or pass. Neither fighter's
pass for me.
Yeah, neither fighter's really proven. Both fighters. I believe this is the second fight in the UFC for both. So, dog or pass. I'll probably throw a quarter unit on Cornell, but not super excited about that one. All right, our next fight is in the. Did I write that down right? No, I don't think I have that written down right. It's a middleweight bout and we've got. I'm really struggling with this today. Dylan Buka taking on Cesar Almeida. Again, not a lot to go off on either one of these fighters. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is pretty much a striker versus grappler matchup here. Almeida, pretty decorated kickboxing record. He does have a win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing.
Yeah,
he's 1-2 against him. So I mean, he does have a win. Contender series fight.
Decision too. So I mean, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, he's a good striker. I like his striking. It's pretty good. Contender series fight. I mean, I was on him in that fight. I thought he would get the knockout, but he impressed me because he kind of fought this about a grappler. So
yeah,
and then he was able to get back up and prevent takedowns. I did like that, but if he could keep this Buka, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with him. I see a whole lot of cage hugging And I think that's probably what he's going to do here. He's going to try to push this guy on the cage, get takedowns, lay on top of him. Yeah, this is whether if Almeida can keep it on the feet, I think he probably wins, probably maybe knocks him out. But if Buka can get takedowns, I think that's his fight. I'm going to lean here with Almeida because he impressed me in
I
his
like
Contender
Almeida
Series
too.
fight.
His get-up game's not terrible. He's dangerous in the striking department. And this is another one of those fights where I think Buka, he maybe will get some takedowns, but if it doesn't look like he's doing a lot of damage, which I don't think he's going to, could be one of the fights where Almeida gets up, lands some damage, looks like he's doing more, even if he does get taken down. And if it goes all 3 rounds, I can see Almeida winning just based on damage. But yeah, I think the striking, he's on another level. He can definitely outstrike him. And I don't think he's a fish out of water when it comes to the ground game. So
yeah, but he does only have 4 professional MMA fights, which is kind of worrisome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I lean him to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Buka was able to lay on top of him for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. But the fact that he did fight somewhat of a grappler in his last fight on the Contender Series made me feel a little bit better about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, you've got 2 guys making their debut. Not a lot to go off of. You're looking at all mostly regional tape. But yeah, I'll roll with Almeida. I think he's, the pedigree's there, and we'll see what happens. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have Dan Areta taking on. Let me pull it up here. Gene Matsumoto. Areta, high-paced guy, likes to wrestle, looks to grapple. Matsumoto kind of well-rounded. He's young, high finish rate. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like this Matsumoto kid. He seems pretty good. I mean, he's a pretty good striker. He's got good wrestling, good BJJ. But Areta's a dog, man. He's a dog. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna try to grapple. He's gonna try to take him down, hold him down. That's his path to victory. I think is if Areta can get the takedowns and land some damage, I think he can win. He could win the fight. Another one where I see is like if Matsumoto can keep it on the feet, I think he probably wins. But if Areta gets takedowns, then he wins. This is a weird fight. I'm gonna lean that Matsumoto can get back up and finish the fight later in the fight. So probably like a 2-3 knockout, later second round, third round knockout. I could see that. And yeah, I like Matsumoto.
Yeah, this is it's a little scary to me because I'm essentially fading the first 3 grapplers on the card, which generally I don't like to do that. But yeah, I like Matsumoto. I like his scrambling ability. I think on the feet he does have an advantage. Areta, he's a high-paced guy. That's, he could push a pace and wear out Matsumoto. But, yeah, I think I like Matsumoto. I think a late finish is possible. And, yeah, I think it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be a good fight. But I'll lean Matsumoto on this one. All right, our next fight. Let's get it up here. Is in the women's strawweight division. We have Pereira Rodriguez taking on Cynthia Calvillo. My initial thought when I looked at this fight was I kind of thought Calvillo was cooked, but I kind of went back and looked at some of the tape, and I'm not so. I think she's still got some life. I think she's gotten a couple tough decisions, but I think she's live in this one. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, that's another tough one for these. All these fights are like tough, man. I can see them going either way. Calvillo, man. I mean, she just can't get a win.
No.
You know, she lost 5 in a row. Lupi, Nina, Nunes, Andrea Lee, Andrade, Chikagian.
I will say I
out
was on Lupi in that fight, and on the night
I was on Lupi. Yeah.
I thought Calvillo could have got it. I watched it back. I still think Calvillo could have got it. She's actually outstruck her last 2 opponents.
I've seen a lot like good things in Calvillo, like throughout, but I mean, she just can't put together a win. Like,
yeah,
I mean, and you know, hold on real quick. So,
is that the air fryer?
Yeah, yeah. So, but Rodriguez, I don't know how good Rodriguez is either. You know, the level of competition she's fought hasn't really been too good. Sam Hughes, Kay Hansen.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm looking at. Like Calvillo has
level,
some tough fighters.
Yes, got the fucking Santos inside the distance.
Oh, what round was that?
Round 1.
Fuck.
But yeah, this fight, dog or pass for me. I don't know what to make of it. I think Calvillo's going to be the bigger girl in there. She could probably get takedowns, land takedowns, ground and pound. I think it's pretty equal on the feet, I think. I don't know. I'm going to lean Calvillo, but no confidence.
Yeah, I'm leaning Calvillo as well. I just think, you know, level of competition, I feel like Calvillo has been robbed in a couple fights. If ever she's going to get right, I think this would be the fight where she gets right. So I'll roll with Calvillo as well. All right. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We got Pedro Falco taking on Victor Hugo. Falcao is taking this fight on what seemed, I think, like just a few days' notice, because I had originally broken this fight down for Hugo was taking on Alatang Lee. So I think like Tuesday or Wednesday, this fight got made.
Yep.
I really haven't done a lot of tape on this fight just because I don't have much on Falcao, and I'm going to go back and look at it. I mean, the odds are pretty close. They're basically a pick 'em. I know Hugo is really good. He's dangerous on the ground, but I don't know where, you know, I don't know where I'm at with this fight. Did you get to break it down?
No, I know a little bit about Victor Hugo. I didn't get a chance to look at Falcao, so I don't know anything about him. But Hugo, I mean, he's gonna grab you. He's gonna try to grab your leg. Like that's what he's gonna go for subs.
Yeah.
Slick submission. He's got good leg locks.
Yeah.
His nickname's the Striker, but I don't think his striking is very good.
Definitely. If I'm picking him to win a fight, I think it's because he sneaks out.
I'm gonna take sub. If I'm betting Hugo, I'm gonna bet the sub. Probably early. Like in 1 or 2. I wouldn't mind that when they're dry. But yeah, I don't know too much about this Cal guy, so I can. I
mean, he looks good. He's got a lot of finishes. I'd like to see. I want to look into see if he was training for a fight. Potentially, maybe he had a fight on the horizon. So he's been in camp, but I don't know. So I'm not going to give an official play here.
Oh, he did fight on the Contender Series. Got a knockout, but didn't get a contract. Got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about this guy.
No, I don't know anything about the guy.
So yeah, I mean, this will be one of the. I mean, if I'm going to bet this fight, I'll probably be betting it live. Yeah, we'll be live Saturday night, and I'm sure I'll have an opinion at that point. But yeah, as of right now, there's a lot of unknown with this one for me. All right, our next fight is In the women's bantamweight division, we've got Jermaine Durandy returning after nearly 4 years off, taking on Norma Dumont. Durandy, man, she's fought all the best. She's fought the champion. She's beat the champions, outside of Amanda Nunes. She's a tough out, but man, a lot of time off. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is my girl Norma. Yeah, I don't know. Durandy, 4-year layoff, having a kid. Like, what's her motivation to come back at 39 years old? Is it just for a check? Is she coming back to, like, it's kind of a weird situation. Like,
yeah, it is.
39 years old, just had a kid, 4 years off. Yeah, I got to go with Norma here. I think Norma's striking is good enough, even though I do think Durandy probably has a power advantage. I think Norma's striking is competitive enough on the feet. And I think if she can mix in takedowns and pretty much Durandy's not very good on her back. So I think, yeah, Norma can pin her up on the cage and mix in some wrestling. I think she could probably get a decision. I like Norma here.
Yeah, I see that too. I'm leaning slightly towards Durandy just because she really has only lost to the best. Her boxing is at a high level. I'm looking forward to seeing.
But if you were gonna bet Durandy, you kind of missed the number though. She was like plus 160.
Yeah, the number has dropped like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see what the weigh-ins look like. I want to see,
Yeah, I want to see Norma if Norma can make weight. I want to see how she looks on the scale.
Yeah, so there's a lot of X factors with this one. Durandy 4 years ago, I would definitely be on her.
Well, 4 years ago, she's probably the favorite in this.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's so much unknown with her. She is highly skilled. She does struggle with the grappling. So Dumont has that. As of right now, I have a slight lean towards Durandy just because she has fought the best of the best. She has beaten champions. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'll do anything with this fight at all. All right. Our next fight is in the welterweight division. We have Court McGee taking on, if I can pull it up here, Alex Morano. Morano's I love this kid, man. He's a good dude. He's a fighter's fighter. He's a good coach. Fun to root for. So I always, if I can back Morano, I will. And McGee, dude's a tough out, but he's been knocked out in his last 2 fights. His durability, which was what he was known for a long time, kind of fading. So, I'm leaning Morano here, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Morano here. Big favorite. Good parlay piece. I think. Yeah, I like Morano's game everywhere. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a solid mid-tier UFC fighter. He'll come in on short notice. He did well in that Ponzinibbio fight on short notice. Was winning the fight until he got started in the third. I was on him in that fight. And I was I was counting my money already, but I like Morano here. I think his striking is good, his wrestling is good. He's got a good submission game. And Court McGee, I don't know, old man. I think it's just like you said, the durability is just probably gone. He's just, that chin might be gone. It might,
Yeah.
And, it's hard to back Court McGee in this fight. I think it's probably Morano by knockout. I think
McGee does have a little bit of power, but for the most part, he's gone to a lot of decisions in his career, unless he's getting finished. And he's been finished actually pretty brutally in the last couple, so it has not looked good. So I think Morano high fight IQ, highly skilled. Yeah, he should get the job done here. And our guy Jason in the chat likes Morano as a parlay piece, and I agree. I think he's he's a rightful favorite, and he's got a good path to victory here.
This is like almost a year layoff for McGee off that knockout too.
Yeah, which I mean, that's smart. You definitely have to.
Yeah,
take.
But I don't know. I think the chin's probably gone. I think Morano probably finds the button here.
Yeah, McGee's been a guy who he's taken big shots in the past and kind of just walked through it. That was kind of his MO. But once you start getting knocked out, it doesn't get better.
And you're, when you're his age and fucking, you're 39 years old and you get knocked out brutally back to back. I mean, your chin's probably gone by now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so Morano it is. I like Morano here.
Yeah.
We all do. All right, our next fight is in the lightweight division. We have Trevor Peek taking on Charlie Campbell. Trevor Peek always dude's just looking to land hammers the whole fight, no matter how tired he is. Charlie Campbell, kind of a similar style. He's kind of a killer be killed type guy as well. I think maybe a little bit cleaner. He's a little bit bigger. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Trevor Peek is a beast, man. I love Trevor Peek. No Trevor Peek fight is boring. Let's just say that he's going to go out there. He's going to go to war. He's going to put it all out there. His technique isn't maybe all there. He throws those swinging hammer fists, which is it's kind of it's fun to watch. Yeah, he's got the chin is the granite chin of steel. We've seen him in his, he takes some big shots, come back, win fights. He's always in it. His technique isn't the best, and later in the fights he does seem to slow down, but he's still fucking throwing like a madman. So he's gonna be there. Campbell, I don't know. Campbell, he's a good fighter, good striker, good all-around game. He's definitely going to be the cleaner striker here. But I don't know. We've seen him he got in his contender series fight. He did get knocked out by Chris Duncan. I was actually on him in that fight, and he was putting it on him, about to finish him. Boom, Duncan clips him, puts him out. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fucking straight war. These guys are going to go stand there and bang. But yeah, I got to lean with the dog odds in a coin flip like this. I think it's whoever lands, or it could be a fucking 3-round war,
Yeah, it's weird because you would expect it to go under with both these guys, but you would have expected the same thing when Peek fought Mariscal.
Chpe, Chpe,
they went 3. So I mean, I do think.
And then Ronnie and then against Yaya too, he did go to decision as well.
Yeah,
Peek. So
it's tough. I mean, I like Campbell just because he's got the longer, straighter punches. I think if he's smart, he can win at range. But Peek is just. It's not easy to just win at range when you're fighting Trevor Peek because the dude just comes in and he throws punches from every angle.
He's going to be walking forward for 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't hate Peek in the dog spot here. I do have officially, I did pick Campbell to win. Not sure how I'm going to end up playing this fight just because.
It's a weird way to go because he could Trevor Peek's a hard guy to knock out, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
he really is.
His fucking chin is his chin isn't real.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean?
He's one of those guys that gets hit and hurt, and then he just looks more frustrated than anything.
He's like a Terminator. He just keeps walking forward, getting hit. Yeah.
So, I mean, officially, I'm on Campbell here, but yeah, I can't argue with Peek. With a dog shot on Peek at all. And with Campbell, there's not not much. He's relatively new to the UFC, so we still don't know what he's all about. But it's a close fight. I think either guy could probably win by knockout, and
do you think Trevor Peek could win a decision?
That's where it gets interesting because
that's where I don't know if maybe you just take the knockout with Peek in like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think if I was on Peek, I'd probably bet him inside. Or because I mean, technically speaking, Campbell is the more technical fighter. He should be the guy that wins a decision, but he's got a lot of early finishes too, so his cardio may not hold up over 3 rounds against a guy like Peek. So, I mean, Peek could win a decision, but I think if Peek wins, he probably does finish the fight, though. I would think he finishes it. But yeah, it's a fun fight.
It's a fun fight. Yeah, that's probably my main event of the card.
Yeah, I mean, if you could bet fight of the night, I know that's an option sometimes. That's one that would be worth putting a little bit on. All right. We can move on. That's a tough fight. And this one's kind of tough as well. Got a heavyweight bout between Walter Walker making his debut and Lucas Bresky, who is, I mean, he hasn't had much success in the UFC. He did get robbed, I think, in a fight a few fights ago.
Fight.
Yeah. But he really can't stop a takedown, and that's kind of what Walker's going to look to do. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is I don't think Bresky's very good. But I don't know how good Walker is. This is Johnny Walker's brother. This guy, he's a massive dude. But like, he doesn't fight nothing like Walker. I think he probably goes in and shoots right for a takedown and gets him down, and then he's gonna have probably 5 minutes to work and get him out of there. I think he probably gets him out in round 1. I don't think Bresky's very good. I think this is a pretty straightforward fight. I think Walker's just gonna take him down. This might be a setup fight. Johnny Walker's brother, they want to bring him in. They give him this guy that has no takedown defense. What is his main attribute? Grappling. So I think this is kind of a showcase fight to try to get him in the mix.
Yeah.
I like Walker here. I bet the under 1.5 at like plus 125. I did bet that.
I agree. I mean,
I thought about Walker round 1, but it was only like plus 200. So I think under 1.5 is good.
Even when Walker looks tired, he's a guy that he can land that takedown, and Bresky just has zero resistance to the takedowns. Like if he had any resistance to takedowns, it would be more interesting, but you get in on his legs and he's on his back. It's ridiculous.
Walker's a big wrestler, grappler. I think it's probably a ground and pound finish.
Yeah, it just keeps pushing forward. So yeah, I agree. And I think honestly for DraftKings he'd probably be solid. I mean, obviously he's priced up because of his price. He's a pretty solid favorite here, but I'm not sure how many people will trust it. So it might be worth a play on DraftKings as well. But I haven't built anything on DraftKings yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow, but he's definitely one that I'm looking at for sure. All right, so we are moving along here. Our next fight is in the lightweight division. We've got Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Christos Giagos. Bahamondes, tall, rangy striker. Giagos has shown some relative power recently. He's kind of been throwing heavy strikes in his last couple fights. Bahamondes is a really good striker. What are your thoughts on this one?
Chris Giagos, he probably has power for maybe mean, he's maybe got like maybe 5 minutes, 7
Yeah.
minutes in the tank here. Yeah, if he doesn't catch you in round one, I think I like this Mundez kid. I was high on him. Yeah, great striker, great all-around fighter, big, long. There's going to be a big height and reach advantage here. Mundez is 6'3", Gago's is 5'10". Yeah, I like this kid. I like this kid, Mundez. I like his striking. I like his overall game. I think he's going to be able to keep it on the feet, stay safe for 5 minutes, and if he can avoid that big bomb in round one, I think slowly he takes over here and just pieces Gago's up, picks him apart, wears him down. Probably a round 3 finish, I'm guessing. Maybe decision. Round 3 or decision might be
round
a good
3
look
decision
here.
is definitely live. I'm a big Mundez guy.
Yeah,
I'm
high on the guy.
He got hurt bad in the first round in his debut, came back and forced a split decision. Then he lost to Ludovic Klein, and Klein has looked really good lately. So, I mean, his 2 losses in the UFC, not the worst. And he's rangy. And if it does, it goes to the ground. I mean, he does have some submission skills. So the kid's pretty solid. And I think Yagos, he's, obviously he's a little bit dangerous early, but if he doesn't get him out of there, I think he just gets picked apart for the majority of the fight.
Yeah, I like Mundez here. It could be a parlay piece or round 3 decision. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm same here.
Yeah,
I think round 3 decision is definitely the way to go.
Maybe the over 1.5 Tommy special.
Yeah, you know what? The over 1.5 might be the way because I mean I could see him
maybe catch him late in the second.
I could see him catching something in the second round. We just saw Yagos get finished with an anaconda in the second round
from a similar type fighter with Zellhuber. I mean, they're like almost a mirror image of them.
They really
same
are.
kind of fighter. It's
same
crazy.
Age, same size. So yeah, I could see second round.
I think it's similar to that fight. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, we're pretty high on Mundez there then.
Yeah. Man, these guys.
All right, we are rolling right along. Our next fight is in the featherweight division. We got Morgan Charrier taking on Chpe Mariscal, who we just talked about a little while ago with that Trevor Peak fight. Mariscal's looked really good last couple fights. He's just goes forward, another Terminator style type dude. Charrier looks like the real deal. He's looked really good. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I mean, I like, man, Chpe's tough, man. He's I mean, he maybe only have a couple fights in the UFC, but I mean, he's fought the best of the best, pretty much. I mean, lost by knockout to Steve Garcia, lost by knockout to Brito. No shame there. Right. Win over Yusuf Lazal, win over Pat Sabatini, lost to Bryce Mitchell by decision. I mean, he's fought some good competition. He's a grimy, like, veteran, man. He's a good MMA fighter. I like Chpe. He's good. This Charrier kid, I don't know what to make of him. He fought that fucking Italian dude in France, which was probably like a layup.
Yeah.
For him. I mean, I don't even know how that guy got into the UFC.
No, that really was so bad. That was a layup fight for sure.
Yeah, he was in France making his debut. They handed him that guy. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Chpe here, man. I think he can get it done here. I like his overall base is good. I like his grappling. I like his striking. I'm gonna lean here with Mariscal. Charrier, I don't know how good he is. Like, from the tape, I mean, he looks like a decent striker, but I mean, level of competition isn't great. He has lost 9 fights.
Right.
A lot of splits I see here. I don't know. I could see it being a close split. I mean, he's gone to split multiple times. I could see this being a close fight, pretty even. 2 guys pretty even, but Yeah, I'm gonna lean Chpe getting the job done here, probably by decision.
I like Chpe as well. I mean, for the simple fact that I know for a fact that he's got that dog mentality in him. Like he can go through a war and be the tougher guy, be the stronger guy. His throws are good, his hips are good.
Like we've seen it in the Peak fight. Like Peak landed some pretty big bombs, and he was still right there.
Yeah, and he threw Peak, he slammed Peak on the ground a couple times. His grappling looked good, his top game looked good. He can be a little over aggressive on the ground, which obviously Shahryar has a good ground game, so he could capitalize on that. But yeah, I mean, the guy he's just looked like you have to kill him to get him out of there, and it looks like it's not easy to do that. So yeah, I like Mariscal. I think he's a really, really tough out, and this is a hell of a test for Shahryar for sure.
Good fight though.
Great fight. Fun fight.
Yeah.
All right. Our next fight is in the featherweight division. We have Alexander Hernandez taking on Damon Jackson. This one's interesting again because I want to say Jackson or Hernandez has the power and he'd be a little bit stronger, but he has not looked good at featherweight. And Damon Jackson's a tough out. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Hernandez is another guy. I back him. He fucking looks like a world beater in round one. I'm like, oh man, we're looking good here. Boom, round two hits, and cardio just is gone. And overall, I think he's probably has some more power, and he's the way better striker, and it's probably close to even on the ground. So I mean, I would think Hernandez I would be on Hernandez here, but I don't know how I can get there at this favorite price because I bet this dude has a dog and he's fucking crushing. He's minus 250 in the second round. His cardio falls off and I'm dead.
Right.
So this is a tough one for me. Damon Jackson, I mean, he is who he is. We've seen him fight many times in the UFC. He's a decent wrestler. Power, I mean, I get he can catch you, but striking defense. Striking defense isn't very good. And I have questions about that chin. If you hit that chin, it's like you hit that button and it's lights out. The chin is very questionable. Durability is very questionable. But he does have the better cardio here. I don't know. This is a tough one. Like, I want to be on Hernandez. Probably maybe Hernandez round one. And then live bet it and see if he looks bet Hernandez in round one, and then if he looks totally cooked and gassed and Jackson is hanging around and you can get Jackson at dog odds after round one, after Hernandez blows his load, then that would probably be the route like I would go.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought. I mean, Hernandez at 45, his cardio just is not there. He's taken a lot of damage in the couple fights he's had at this weight class. Yeah, I mean, Jackson, I do worry a little bit about his chin. I mean, obviously Hernandez has the power to catch him. But, Jackson's been knocked out by Topuria and Dan Ige. So it's not like there's not a lot of shame in either one of those. So to me, I think it's kind of a coin flip fight. I think Hernandez has that power early. But the fact that it's at featherweight, I have to roll with Jackson. I think if he can just make it a longer fight, I think he can just wear on him and get the job done.
And if you've watched their like pre-fight like interviews, like I guess there's some kind of weird beef there. I don't know what that's all about. Damon Jackson has a new hairline. He actually has hair now. Full head of hair.
His hair looks great.
He must have went to Turkey and got a hair transplant.
Yeah, it looks good.
Got a great head of hair now. So who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know if the hair is good for him or not, but yeah, I don't. It's weird, man. Like the Hernandez trash talk is always super awkward.
No, but it's coming from it's coming from Jackson this time. I guess he doesn't
Yeah,
like
no,
him
because he brought up
Cowboy and
the Cowboy
weird
fight.
shit.
Yeah, the whole thing is just fucking. I cringe. All of it makes me cringe. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll move on to the main event here. We've got Brendan Allen taking on Chris Curtis in a middleweight bout. We have seen this fight before. Brendan Allen looked really, really good in the first round. Chris Curtis found the chin in the second round, put him out. I tend to think over 5 rounds, it's kind of a similar story here. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Brendan Allen has been making some improvements in his last few fights since then.
Yeah.
He's looked good in his last few fights.
He's looked great. He's been on a nice run.
He's looked great, yeah. He's on a nice run here. Yeah, but Chris Curtis is just that guy, man. Like he showed in the first fight, it's hard to take him down, hard to keep him down.
Yeah.
But does he still have that same fire? Because in the last couple of fights, he's doing he hasn't looked great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's he's gonna be there. If he takes him, I don't know if Allen can finish him. I don't see Allen finishing him, but I could definitely see Chris Curtis knocking him out, like a counter. And these guys, they kind of have a beef, with last time him and Strickland or whatever. They have Strickland knocked him out, then Curtis knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then he's went on this crazy run.
Those are the last 2 losses were to Curtis and Strickland, the teammates.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Curtis has the game plan here to keep it on the feet and probably land that big shot here.
Yeah, I think styles make fights, and Curtis has really good takedown defense. He has good defensive boxing. He can weather a bit of a storm and land a big shot. Brendan Allen,
I would like to see Curtis throw more volume. If he threw more volume, he would be.
Yeah,
he would be like Sean Strickland. They're almost mirror images, but it's just Curtis doesn't throw any volume. He doesn't let his hands go. He waits for that counter shot and then puts your lights out.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping with a little bit of bad blood in this one, maybe he's a little bit more aggressive. It is 5 rounds, so
I think that suits probably Curtis.
Yeah,
Curtis better.
Yeah, he can land a big shot at any point, but
this is Chris Curtis's first main event too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
The first 5-round fight in the UFC. So, yeah, I think, man, he's going to have 5 rounds of work and land that big shot. I think he eventually catches him.
Yeah, and another thing, just going off of this year, so far, 5-round fights, the underdog is 9-4. The underdogs continue to cash. We saw it last week. So just basing it off that, there's a lot to be said about the underdog in a 5-round fight.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with Curtis.
Yeah,
Curtis
I'm rolling with Curtis as well. Lot of agreement on this card, so hopefully we can have a nice night on Saturday. We're going to be live. I want to say we're going. Well, is there a?
I think there's a race tomorrow night, so I think we'll probably live tomorrow night.
Yeah, so we'll be live. So we'll be live pretty much all weekend then. Truck race tomorrow. Keg and Coop will be doing the NASCAR podcast, I would assume, after the truck race. And yeah, that's it. Follow along, and we're gonna get it home. Anything else from you?
No, that's about it.
All right.
Weekend ahead. Let's make some money.
Let's go. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend. And until next time, good luck on Saturday.
Laters.